The Kindergarten Progress Report provides achievement levels for literacy and numeracy, as well as personal social growth twice a year, typically at the end of January and at the end of June. In order to generate a printed progress report, kindergarten teachers will need to use Gradebook. So the first thing that we have to keep in mind when entering assessment data into a kindergarten gradebook is that it's incredibly important to make sure I've got the correct reporting term selected. Okay, so if I'm entering data to produce a progress report for the first reporting period, typically at the end of January, I have to make sure that T1 is selected as my reporting term. If I'm entering data to produce a progress report for the second reporting term, so at the end of June, I want to make sure that T2 is selected. Okay, that's incredibly important. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to select one of my classes. Now, for the purpose for my example, I'm going to enter assessment data in preparation for preparing a progress report for the June reporting period. Okay, so I've got my blue group selected, and then I can see here, since I am entering data to produce that June reporting progress report, I have T2 selected. Okay, so with my score sheet tab selected, I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to click on this small plus sign, and what that does is open this new assignment window. So for my assignment name, I'm just going to call it, term 2. That's fine. It really doesn't matter what you name that assignment, as long as it corresponds to kind of the term that you're using, something you can remember. And I'm going to click over here, of course, and it just auto-populates term 2. Okay. For my assignment category, it doesn't really matter what I select. However, in a previous video, I show people how to alter their course categories for a kindergarten gradebook to really only have classwork available as a category. So I'm going to click on classwork to keep things consistent. And that's all I have to do for now. I don't have to change any of the points possible to the score types. I don't write a description in here. Really what I'm doing is I'm creating a new assignment in kindergarten to serve as a bucket. And in that bucket, what I'm going to do is attach outcomes, so I can then attach or assign levels of achievement for each of the outcomes. Okay, so the next step is to click on the Outcome tab. And if I come over here, what I'm looking at is all of the kindergarten outcomes that are available to me. Okay, it's important that I select every one of them. I'm going to report on all of them, so I need all of them selected and added to that assignment. And I'm going to do this. Okay, and make sure they're all done. There we go. I've got them all selected and I'm sure of that. And what I'm going to do is hit save. Okay, now I see that an assignment called Term 2 has appeared in my score sheet. That's perfect. I'm just going to X out of this to give myself some more room. And as you can see now, I have one assignment made, and that's the only assignment that I'll need to create for this reporting term. Okay, so, and that's exclusive, of course, right now for kindergarten. So I've got the assignment made, and what I want to do is expose the outcomes that we just attached to that assignment. And to do so, I'm going to click on the small s up here. That's called the standards drawer. And as you can see, when I clicked on that, it opened up the drawer, and now it's exposing all of the outcomes that I've attached. Okay, if I just kind of mouse over without clicking each of the outcomes, I'm going to see a brief little simplified description of that outcome, so I can be sure that I'm assigning levels of achievement to the correct outcomes. All right? Okay, now I'm ready to enter a level of achievement for each outcome and for each student. And to do so, all I do is I double click in the field under the outcome and beside each student, and I'm just going to enter a level of achievement. So we have codes for that, and remember that I've got some choices here. I can use ET for established, I can use ME for meeting, I can use PR for progressing, and I can use BE for beginning. Now, please make sure that you have a very thorough understanding of the level of achievements and those indicators and codes. And if you need more information about those, you can refer to either our division assessment guide or you can go back into the ProSchool course on grading and reporting itself and have a look at the levels of achievement. So once that's done, as you can see here, I'm just clicking in spots and adding these as I like. I can hit return, and that's actually moving me down student by student for entry. Okay, and once I'm satisfied and I've assigned all the level achievements that I'd like to during this time in Gradebook, I'm going to make sure to hit save. Okay, those are saving those, and right now the standards drawer is open in this view. And if you really want to make it neat and tidy, you can close it, of course, just like this. And of course, it should be understood that whatever I have as a level of achievement during the cut-off for the reporting term, so whatever I have in my gradebook, is what is going to appear on the printed off progress report. So for this student, for this outcome, he or she will be receiving that established, and that will be the final outcome grade that is printed off on the report. So lastly, I'd like to add a final grade comment that for each student, with the understanding, of course, that this too will appear on the progress report when it's printed. And to do so, I just go over to the final grade column. I'm just going to double click on any of the students to bring up this final grade comment box. Okay. Here is my comment box, and I'm just going to type, of course, some nonsense letters in here. And this is where I make my comment for each student. And as you can see, as I'm typing, the amount of characters I have left is decreasing. And that's because I am limited in the amount of characters that I can type in there, because the box on the printed off progress report is of fixed size. Okay, so you have to be careful about that. I have a video, the next video in this series talks specifically about writing some comments in Gradebook. Check that out for more information. I just want to also show you that because I have one student open here and I'm adding comments for that student, I don't have to always click out of this dialog box and go and click on another student to write their comment. I just use these small arrows at the top, and then I can go through and write individual comments for each of my students like that. It does save a little bit of time. And when I'm done, I'm just going to hit the close button. And before I hit save, you can hit save at any point. I won't just for now, because I want you to notice under the final grade column, any students for whom I've already written a comment, a tiny C will appear next to their name. You can see there are 3 students in my roster right now with a comment entered, and then I have the rest that I'd have to go back and make sure that they get a final comment for their progress report. So also notice that I made sure that because I was entering a comment for the second reporting period, the one at the end of June, that I've got term 2 selected as my reporting term. Okay, whenever I've been making changes in my gradebook, I'm always sure to hit save.